So Yu-Gi-Oh! Has evolved from being able to summon a powerful monster like Summon Skull to your side of the field. I mean, this card has everything going for it. It's fearsome, it's scary, it's menacing, all the way down to what is the cutest hand trap and how powerful it can be. That's this Yu-Gi-Oh! Has definitely gotten interesting over the years when you put it in perspective, right? What's going on with ya, big dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day is going phenomenal, but if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. And speaking of days, it is tier list Tuesday, not Tuesday, but this time around you are going to be getting 2 tier lists this week. The last time we talked about the top meta decks post all of the events that happened over the weekend. There was a UK Nationals that had over 1,800 people, the most since COVID, and other major events alike. And because the meta shift has been huge, we have to revisit the hand traps. These are just as important though. With new and powerful strategies entering the format, one would have to wonder what are the best hand traps to be playing against them, and what are the, oh no, what are you doing, baby? The cards that you will probably be donating a win to your opponent if you're playing. Let's go ahead and jump on into this tier list so I can explain our 5 different categories. Better be caught when it is very simple. I'd rather be judged by 12 than be carried by 6. If you don't have these cards, you might as well be in a ditch, boy, because these are the hand traps that you probably should strongly consider playing if you are playing a deck that needs or has the room for hand traps. From there, really good are the cards that are just really good. I mean, like, they're not mandatory to play in the deck, but if you had teching them in, or they're really cute hand traps and fairly solid into this format. Underrated is pretty self-explanatory, right, guys? These are the cards that you might as well just be, Arby's with, right? No, obviously, underrated are hand traps that not a lot of players are looking into and are ridiculously good right now. You should genuinely look into them if they fit your particular scenario. Could be better is also fairly self-explanatory. These are the best hand traps, and they're not. Okay, well, could be better is the category that is reserved for strat cards that need a lot of things to go in their way, in the right way. And then, of course, the last Arby's tier, the donation tier, whatever tier you want to call it, these are the hand traps you should not be playing. Starting off with Ally Adjusted Cycle Reader, Drytron actually just won the UK Nationals, in case you didn't know. We talked about it in our Meta is Changer video, as well as in our tier list. If you guys want to check those videos out, go ahead. Definitely helps us as content. But I would have to say that Ally Adjusted Cycle Reader is fairly underrated, but it does have a stipulation. Like, look, we know that Drytron's won the UK Nationals now, and if most players know that Drytron won the UK Nationals, in theory, more players would play Drytron. Well, this card is literally a Drytron killer. Not only being able to banish a Drytron monster from the graveyard, hypothetically, if they use like Drytron Alpha Thuban to be able to tribute off their Cyber Angel Benton, you can use this card to be able to banish both of them if you're Alpha Thuban, or if they're Alpha Thubans in the graveyard, and that's just amazing. They won't get either effect. That's almost an FTK against a strategy. It also works again against multiple Drytron cards in the graveyard. Sometimes using a card like DD Crow against one of the cards doesn't work, but being able to hit 2 of their cards is like, oh, it is amazing. But beware, I wouldn't play this unless your format was like infested with Drytron players in the sideboard. On the flip side, a card that Drytron players do mainboard is Artifact Lancia, and unfortunately this is in the could be better status. But allow me to explain to you why. The reason why I put this in the could be better status is simply because, I mean, it doesn't really do a lot against some of the better strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! Despia just so happens to have a knack for banishing on your turn when you can't use Artifact Lancia. Punk Therion, I mean, I guess you can stop the chaotic ruler, but I mean, you're not really doing anything else. Drytron, good luck. Rocket Dragon Link, good luck. Just literally a lot of the top strategies this card is mediocre, but where it does shine against is decks like Phantom Knights, decks like Dinos, any deck that needs to banish to be able to perform whatever they're trying to do. If you do have an infestation of those lower level rogue decks that lose to Artifact Lancia, maybe even Tri-Brigade, then this is your man. But other than that, I don't think you should be mainboarding it, and I definitely don't think you should be sideboarding it at this point in time. Moving forward, Ash Blossom and Joy Spring is in the better be caught with it, strictly because this hand trap hits everything in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. It's almost ridiculous how powerful this hand trap is. It's not here because of its impact on the card game. Being able to trade it for a negation unless you're hitting branded fusion doesn't feel amazing a lot of times, but the fact that this card can exchange itself for so many situations, literally almost any deck that plays Yu-Gi-Oh right now and is good can be hit by Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, and that's what makes this card really, really good, extremely versatile, and amazing inside of this format. Chaos Hunter is in the could be better status, and there's a really big reason why. Chaos Hunter is almost the opposite of what Artifact Lancia does. If you can summon this card to your side of the field and protect it, you can lock down a lot of decks. Outlich is going to have to fear this deck. The Despia strategy using Branded Red is almost out of the question for them. It's almost the opposite of Artifact Lancia, but there is a problem with that, protecting Chaos Hunter, because it needs to be on the field in order to prevent banishing. Also, if you're playing a strategy that needs to banish too, well, I hope Chaos Hunter is just your opponent, but if it is both players, then you know it's obviously not going to work there. That easily puts this in the could be better category. I don't think it's a bad card, but I would not suggest playing this in your main board or sideboard right now. Contact C, oh my god, like, yo, this card's low-key underrated. Like, it's so underrated. Allow me to explain. This card has fallen so under the radar. Decks like Despia literally aren't paying attention. Sun Avalon, you can catch them off guard. If Sword Soul, if you can find a way to get rid of their token and they don't have Ecclesia, this ain't good for them. Like, it really isn't. Like, this low-key underrated. I wouldn't, unless like you were playing something like B Trooper. I think it would be best served against like Branded, and you'd have to know, like, playing that risk that, yo, I know you don't play any cards to fuse off this card. This literally will shut them down. It's crazy how that can happen, but be mindful. Some Despia players are on the cards to be able to fuse off this card, as it isn't really that hard to do. Moving forward, Dama Mama, guys. Dama Mama. We talked about last time how Dama Mama was underrated right now. I'm going to put her in the could be better status right now. A lot of special summoning from deck through emergency teleport. That is easily a plus. Then there's a credible Ecclesia. There's branded opening. There are a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that special summon from the deck where you can just use Dama to draw 2 cards. That is freaking phenomenal. Unfortunately, Dama feels like a win more card sometimes right now, strictly because there's a lot of combo boards going on, and you don't want to open this card going into a combo board unless you have some negator cards that will actually stick on a negated card. Like Forbidden Chalice or Forbidden Droplet not getting negated, you can summon Dama Mama, but she doesn't really do anything after that. She's just a body at that point in time. I don't think she's a bad card, but I do think she could be in a better situation. DD Crow is easily a really good card. I'm going to say it before and I'm going to say it again. Using DD Crow before your opponent activates their Therion monster, targeting a correct target is godly. If they don't have any other targets in graveyard, DD Crow could literally put them in a really bad spot. It's amazing. It's ABC. It's pretty good against Sun Avalon. It's good against the Chaotic Ruler decks. It's good against so many strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. But I wouldn't say that it's a card that you better be caught with. Dimensional Shifter, even though it isn't as powerful as it once was, if you are playing a deck that can accommodate Dimensional Shifter like Fluent Race, then there's no reason not to play Dimensional Shifter. It's still a card that against those rogue decks, it can be just an easy win against them. It just shuts them off and they can't do anything. Droll and Lockbird, this card, I want to say it's ridiculously underrated, but guys, literally, I'm looking at all of the top decks. The only deck that this card doesn't do good against Outlich. I just genuinely, I don't understand. I don't understand why people aren't playing this card. Like, it is a main board. Like, you can go ahead and play this in a main board and probably win games off of that. But if not, it is 100% a sideboard card right now. There's no strategy in Yu-Gi-Oh that only searches once. Even Sword Soul, they've gotten so greedy. They started searching and drawing and doing all. You can Droll and Lockbird them and they'll fill that. So Droll is a really good card. Effect Veiler is really good, but I think that these cards are really good not just because of their effects. Chaotic Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon, allows you to add them from your graveyard to your hand when you excavate them. So there's that. They're also light and dark monsters, so good for being able to special summon your chaos cards. Effect Veiler is a solid form of negation. It's pretty bad against Despia, but against everything else, it's solid. It's like Ash Blossom. It's really, really versatile. And even against Despia, if, you know, still hitting Oliver is a good idea. Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. Oh no, what are you doing, baby? This card is reserved for if we have a deck. I mean, I guess against Sun Avalon, this will be good. But against literally like everything else, it's like, no, don't do that. And the reason why is because there aren't enough link-based decks for Thanos to be able to take full advantage. Ciphering Gear Gamma, I still put in a really good category. Now, Ciphering Gear Gamma is literally Effect Veiler, except it destroys the card. The only drawback is that you can't have monsters on your field, so that does come up. But the best thing about Ciphering Gear Gamma is when you activate a spell card and your opponent goes Ash and you go yo Gamma, or they go like Droll and you go yo Gamma, and you can summon like Cypher Lord Omega and then just ruin their day. This card is legitimately busted and is one of the better hand traps. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit moves to the underrated portion. A lot of players have been dropping the Snow Rabbit. But the thing is, Adventure Token is back on the rise, so Ghost Ogre does come back into contention. And also, being able to summon this off of Emergency Teleport, that's still really good, as it is a form of interaction. I got to give it to the GO and SR. Moving on to GS and DW, Ghost Sister and Spooky Dog with... Why y'all hit me like that? Look, the plant strategy... This could be good against, right? Why you hit me like this? Okay, look. If you're going into game 3 and it's like 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, and you know you about to go second, you can side in 3 Spooky Dogwoods and win the game. That alone makes it better be caught with it, right? Right? No, but Spooky Dogwood has been picking up steam for that particular situation. Players would side it in when going second, and then it's good against the plat strategy. It's good against a couple of other strategies when going into time or when you need a lot of life points. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion isn't necessarily a bad Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's just where it would have most interaction, like being able to stop Branded in red. Despia has Branded lost. And then for other strategies, they can just, I mean, a lot of times they can play around it. I don't think it's a bad card. I do think it will come back to here, and maybe even here later on. But for right now, I think it's just figuring out its particular niche and its particular strategy that it would be really good against. Looking at the top strategies, it only hits Drytron monsters when they activate in graveyard. Sword Soul, Rocket Dragon Link, it could, but there are also other hand traps that could like Effect Veiler, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of times where this card is useful, some of the other better hand traps are useful that can hit better cards. Ghost Mourner or Moonlit Chill is the most underrated hand trap in Yu-Gi-Oh right now, and you guys aren't even paying attention. It's ridiculous how good this card is, especially if you're a player like Sword Soul. Them summoning Token Collector on your turn, you can Ghost Sister or Ghost Mourner or Moonlit Chill. Now, there has been a ruling with this card in Guardian Chimera, and the ruling is if your opponent Guardian Chimeras on your turn and you chain Ghost Mourner or Moonlit Chill, your opponent will still get Guardian Chimera's effect, which is unfortunate. That's not how it is in the OCG, but the differential between the OCG and how they do their chain links and the TCG and how we do our chain links finally strikes and hit us on the bad side. If that were true and you could like hit the Guardian Chimera, like it'd be here. But I do think that this card is legitimately underrated, and it's mainly because a lot of players are trying to special summon like in the standby phase or in the draw phase to dodge Droll and Effect Veiler, and you can still hit them with the Moonlit Chill. Winter Cherries, I guess people keep on saying it'll be better when Splight comes out, but I guess that will require you to play the Splight Mirror, and we know not all y'all can afford Splight cards. Unfortunate, but it's gonna be expensive. I'm just keeping it real with y'all, but keeping it a buck with y'all. So the problem with Winter Cherries is that when you do think it's good, it's not good because decks aren't relying on just one extra deck card, which does suck. No material. Sheesh. Low key, because if you hit Sun Avalon, like their level 1 monster, Sun Sea Genius, low key, you're good. It's pretty good against like Moye. It is good against Rockets. Low key, guys, low key. It's low key crack. This card's low key crack. The genuine problem with this card is that again, you have to control no cards on your side of the field. So Definitely one of those cards that you hope to open when going second on the first turn. Moving forward, do not play this card. Oh no, what are you doing, baby? Green light, no. Even if you do have the space to play it. Same thing with purple light. These cards are just not good right now. And Herald of Orange Light, if you can play it, then you should be playing it. Literally, it's Cyframe Gear Gamma, except discard a fairy. Like, who cares about that, dog? Drytron plays it. Modolche plays it. Agents play it. I think those are the only decks that I can think of off the top of my head that can play it at a competitive level. Infinite Impermanence is also really good. Infinite Impermanence gives you the versatility to be able to be activated on the standby phase, or in the draw phase and standby phase, unlike Veiler, but cannot be activated when you have cards, unlike Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. So choose it wisely. The amazing thing about this is that this does dodge cards like Triple Tactics Talent, so there's that. Miradora, don't play this right now. This is the best thing I got for you guys. Do not play Miradora right now. It's not. Well, you had hopes and dreams for this card. I still have hopes and dreams for this card. I got a Starlight Rare copy of it. Miradora, just not good right now. Not right now. Not right now. It does have potential, just not right now. When it becomes a searchable card, it comes up to like right here. Because you know what I mean? Like negation, 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 negation. You have so many monster effect negations. Unfortunately, these are just better. And this isn't as searchable as you'd want it. I guess it can be searched through Tempest. But I think that's it. Nibiru, guys, yo, I mean, I want to say it's really good, but people aren't paying attention to it. The reason why Nibiru is so good, because nobody's paying attention to it. Like, so Sword Soul players, they do not respect Nibiru. But you also got to remember, since we are in combo format with Adventure Token and also the Therion, a lot of those decks can play around Nibiru. So you have to be very mindful. Nibiru plus another hand trap like Imperm, Veiler, Herald, Gamma are ideal. That is like if you're playing a big hand trap deck, or if you're playing like up to 12 hand traps in your deck, Nibiru could definitely slot in comfortable because it does stop the combos, as it can not only hit the Wandering Griffin Rider or the Therion Regulus, it also follows up by nuking their board, which will end their turn. Epsilon, oh no, what are you doing, baby? Stopping spells are not as impactful. Being able to stop Brandon Red, I guess, is good, but I mean, good luck with that with Brandon lost on the field. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the spell cards that you really need to stop in Yu-Gi-Oh! Red Reboot is still 100% a better be caught with it, especially if your deck loses to Dimensional Barrier, guys. You don't want to lose to Dimensional Barrier, then go ahead and play the Red Reboot in your sideboard. Saravis is ridiculously underrated. Allow me to explain. There are so many strategies that can send Herald of Arclight from their deck to the graveyard. Now, Herald of Arclight can get you Illusion of Chaos, which if you are playing like a combo deck, that's a free Magician Souls. That could be a free draw 2 and a free special summon. But also Saravis. Since Effect Veiler and Infinite Impermanence are good, they're also targeting monster effects. Saravis is a really good card to be able to stop all that and allow you to continue to play. Skullmeister is in the could be better status. A lot of monster effects don't activate in the graveyard. And if they do, your opponent's really good at chain blocking them or stopping them at this point in time. I think Skullmeister could be in a better place, but unfortunately that's not the case. And Token Collector 100% should be considered about being played in your sideboard if you're considering this. Not only is it good against the Adventure Token engine, which is being played a lot, it is also really, really, really good against Sword Soul. And that is all that I have for the hand trap tier list, ranking the best hand traps this format post everything that has happened over the course of last weekend. Of course, if you want to see more amazing content, be sure to check out these videos. We got an amazing tier list. We got to get you updated on the new format. There is so much to catch up with. And of course, if you want to see Master Duel content, go ahead and check out Master Duel Cali, as I'll catch you on the next one.